Hi guys, in today's video we are going to be taking a look at some leaked images of another new character coming to Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville. Unlike the wizard zombie, we don't know when this new character will be released, but what we do know is that this character is called the BERRY BRIGADE. The images you will see in this video were data mined from the game files just after the most recent January update by GermanShu. The link to their channel is in the description. As usual, just before we begin, remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy the content on this channel and want to help it grow. Anyway, let's get started. Right, so as with the wizard zombie, the BERRY BRIGADE looks to be a really interesting character that has a lot of unique mechanics as well as something we haven't seen before. So just before we look at the first image, there is actually some information on the PvZ wiki that just gives a brief overview of what we know so far about the character. So it says BERRY BRIGADE is an upcoming plant class. As of the January 2020 patch, some assets related to the BERRY BRIGADE such as the weapon data and model have been added to the game files. Now there is actually some more information about even more new characters on the wiki page, but I'll save that for another video. The link is in the description if you want to take a look for yourself. Anyway, now let's take a look at the first leaked image. So as you can see, to some people's horror, the BERRY BRIGADE is another small plant character like Nightcap and Acorn. Now, without being able to see the texture and colours on this character, I actually think it looks like more of a tomato than a berry or a tomato, but I'm sure it'll look great when it's in game. However, the really interesting part about this character is that it's not actually one character, it's four. The giveaway is in the name BERRY BRIGADE, where brigade is defined as a subdivision of an army, typically consisting of a small number of infantry and other units forming part of a division. So from this definition you can hopefully understand what theme Popcap has gone for with this character, and when you see this next image it will start to make more sense. Speaking of which, here is the next image. So as you can see, this character is actually made up of four individual characters that have this army look and feel to them. And in my head it kind of makes sense to have four of these characters, because you could have one character that will fire the regular primary weapon, then when each ability is used, a different berry will appear in some fashion to use the attack. But there is another way I think this will work, and I'll explain a bit more when we get onto the final image. So GermanShu actually gave us a bit more information about some of the abilities and which characters will be used for each of them. They said, the whole team looks like this, referring to this image. These are all different characters of the same team. When using the ability tank, character number 3 is used. When using a turret character, number 4 is used. So yes guys, one of the BERRY BRIGADE's ability is that they can become a tank. And before you go crazy, don't worry, the final image we have is of the giant berry tank, which as you can see is basically the same size as Oak, so this thing is massive. Of course at the moment the tank doesn't look particularly attractive as it's just made up of a couple of basic shapes, but you get the idea. Now I did mention earlier that I had another idea of how the four characters will work together in terms of abilities, and based on the fact the BERRY BRIGADE has this transformation ability, perhaps one of the characters will be the default one. So like with Acorn, it will have a primary weapon as well as 3 abilities, with one ability being the tank transformation ability. So that's the default one, but then when you transform into the berry tank, this is where the other characters will come into play. As GermanShu mentioned, there is also a turret ability that can be used, so I think that the 3 other characters will be inside of the tank in a sense, and when each different ability is activated, each of the characters will pop out from somewhere to use their ability. Also, what's very exciting about this idea is that I imagine other players playing as BERRY BRIGADE will be able to join up with another tank just like with Oak and Space Station and have access to the different abilities. Overall, I think like with the wizard zombie, Popcap are getting really experimental and interesting with their new character creations, and these will hopefully make for really exciting gameplay opportunities. And I feel the new characters will really add a breath of fresh air with all the new ability mechanics. Of course, in terms of visuals we can't really say much as these images are just 3D models with no textures, but I imagine each one will be a different colour. Although I have to say I think my favourite one is the one with the moustache. Something about a fruit with facial hair is just funny to me. Anyway guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are about this new character in the comments below. Other than that, remember to subscribe and I shall see you in the next one. Okay, thanks guys. Bye. Bye.